Hello, YouTube. Jason here again, just reaching out to you, I think, with just a message I thought was pretty important in the times that we're in. So I like to always start out with 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So that's a commandment from God to rightly divide and to study to show thyself worthy. So we as Christians should do that. 2 Corinthians 2:11, don't be ignorant of Satan's devices. So Satan has ways in this world to tempt you, to try to destroy you, to try to turn you away from Christ or turn you away from doing his work. So even if you are saved, once saved, always saved, he can try to destroy your body as well. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, in latter times, which I believe we live in today, there will be doctrines of devil. Church age that we live in. And close to the rapture, we are to be careful of false prophets. We are to be careful of doctrines of devils, which would lead you astray and confuse those, and often will damn a lot of their flock. And so I believe in the doctrine of dispensationalism, and that teaches us that there are different salvations for different people, and different, for example, Jews are different than the Christians in the church age. Same could be said with Adam in the Garden of Eden. All he had to do was not eat of the fruit. Same could be of Noah. Noah had to build the ark for his flood to be saved, to be found righteous by God. So we in the church age, all we have to do is believe on his blood. So there is, in my opinion, a pre-trib rapture, which is the church rapture, and a rapture for the Jewish, what I call the Jewish rapture, which is the end of the tribulation, or what most people would call the post-trib rapture. I believe there's both of those. And so if you look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16 and 17, we'll take a look at that now. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, that's Michael, and with the trump of God, so that's the trumpet voice of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. And verse 18 I like, wherefore comfort one another with these words. So this is not a time of chaos, a time of terror, shock, all those things. This rapture, this pre-trib rapture, is a time of joy, to comfort each other with these words. You look at this rapture, there's really just no doubt that's pre-trib. But if we go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, go there for a second. So 5 through 12, the verses in this 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, are just really talking about the tribulation. So remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things. So this is talking about tribulation. And now you know that withhold that he might be revealed unto his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. So the mystery of iniquity is actually the man of sin. That's the Antichrist. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So essentially the wicked Antichrist will be revealed. So back in John's time, back in the time of the early saints, they knew that the mystery of iniquity was with them, and that was in the Roman rulers. And so throughout history, the Roman Empire has been there in different forms. And of course, it was the military power at the time, or the Caesar, and today it's the Pope in the Vatican. But that power has never subsided. That the Roman Catholic Church, as we call it today, and that's, to me, the Pope will be the man of sin in the tribulation. It may not be this Pope, but it might be the next one. So this just continues down, and then all until verse 12, it says they're talking about that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. That's verse 12. So you can see that verses 5 through pretty much 12, it's about the tribulation and the Antichrist and the workings of Satan, and that they, in verse 10, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness, and them that perish. So them, not talking about people in the first century, talking about future people, because they didn't say we, they said they receive not the love of truth, that they might be saved. So I think that's the key. That verses 5 through 12, they weren't talking about church age people in their time, because they were in the church age as well. They were talking about the people in the tribulation. And then verses 13 through 17, you start to see the word we. But we are bound to give thanks always to God for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because God hath from the beginning chosen you, talking to them at that time during the church age, to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. Whereunto he called you by our God. See, you can see it's he, we, you, us. There's this conversation around Christians in the church age called to be obtaining glory with Christ. You get your glory through Christ. So that is what you see in verse 13, 14, and verse 17. Comfort your hearts and establish you in every good work, word and work. So again, it's that day and age. So for me, that just goes to show in 2 Thessalonians 2, 1 through 4, that there is going to be the time of tribulation that's described in the Bible. And you see that in Matthew 24, Revelation 19. And so the next question, as I believe we're in the later time, is to ask, well, what must happen, or what time in the world would a possible rapture occur, or would even the tribulation occur? So what would need to set up that man of sin coming on the scene? And certainly we'll talk about that in the next video. I'm going to stop for now. I just want to pray for each and every one of us to realize that that we should be looking for our blessed hope. We should be looking for Jesus' return. And so, brother, be safe.